For the last several years, Transition Framingham has welcomed the community to tour local gardens. The goal is to inspire more people to grow fresh food for Framingham. Several home and community gardens dotted the 7-mile tour. This year's event encouraged a bike route along with carpooling. Different garden designs and landscapes showing off herbs, fruits, and of course vegetables of all varieties inspired new and seasoned gardeners to share their experiences and techniques. Several houses of worship were on the route, some hosting plots for residents looking for a place to exercise their green thumbs, and most giving some of their bounty to those in need. A veggie-focused barbecue finished the day, giving it that extra delicious motivation.
I do a lot of canning. I do spaghetti sauce and salsa, peach jam.
Grow every year, learn from your mistakes.
Tomatoes. Yeah, I'm such a nerd about tomatoes. I want to grow the most beautiful tomatoes.
I love actually growing vegetables because they taste great.
This year's tour is both bikeable and carpoolable. We had 8 people biking, which has been great fun up until this point. And it's a really lovely opportunity to see a number of different kinds of vegetable gardens. We've seen community gardens, home gardens, and it's a really broad range. We've also seen multiple honeybee hives. The thing that brought me into Transition Framingham was an event 2.5 years ago called Fresh Food for Framingham. And at that event, we did a lot of brainstorming about how we might be able to grow more fresh food in our town. And a number of the gardens that we visited today have been part of that effort. The Framingham Food Forest Fellowship up at Open Spirit, some of the individual gardens and compost things that we've started have all been kind of driven from our desire to bring more opportunities to grow fresh food in our community.
We were actually the first in Framingham to have a garden. It was originally just for church members, and after about 10 or 12 years, we opened it up as a community garden. It's a $50 plot fee per year, and then 10% either of your produce or 10% of your monetary amount for produce goes to Daniel's Table to help fight hungry kids in Framingham. And our goal is to put fruit trees in so that we'll have peaches, pears, and apples. And I have a little girl that comes every day. She lives down the street. She comes every day with her mom, and she picks a kale leaf and a cabbage leaf and eats them on her way home. And she's like 4. And I'm like, that's a perfect way to teach your kids how to eat vegetables.
We are on the grounds of Edwards Church. We have 2 gardens here. Well, really the whole campus is one big garden, but we have the Edible Forest Garden that's run by Open Spirit, and then we have Framingham Community Farm, which is a garden that engages volunteers that are referred from local group homes, and then all our food goes to local food pantries. I hope that eventually it will become self-sustaining in terms of both financially and in terms of the upkeep of it, so that it won't just be, a few people running it, but it'll really be a community effort that will be able to continue far into the future. So now that we have the infrastructure built and everything, I think it'll be a great thing.
Do you have any fundraisers coming up, maybe in the winter?
Yeah, October 7th, we're planning a big end-of-season fundraiser. We're going to have a silent auction, family-friendly activities, a bouncy house, and a bunch of local green organizations tabling, so it'll be really fun.
Will that be here?
It will be here, yeah.
Well, I've been a member of Transition Framingham for probably about 3 years. I'm probably the novice in the group. But it's been 3 years of great education for me anyways, and appreciating all the items in our area that are waiting to be harvested and to reap in, I think, the benefits of nature, I think. It's just rewarding just every time you start to harvest the foods, and also I can't believe what the initiative that people have once they start going. And that's the other thing about Transition Framingham. We're promoting composting, so they try to keep away those chemicals that are out of the soil, because what goes into the soil goes into the vegetables and goes into us.
Right now you're at the First Parish Church in Framingham, and this is our community garden right here. And we're growing a variety of vegetables and flowers. We take our excess produce up to a homeless shelter up the street, and the rest of it we use ourselves. And the nice feature of it is it's kind of relaxing. It's a little bit of therapy. You come down here and all the political troubles of the day just go away.
I love to grow vegetables, and I do it on the largest scale possible. I've been doing this, I think, since 2010, and every year I grow a bit more, so I add a couple of more square feet of vegetables. So this year I'm actually growing shallots and actually 4 types of onions, red onions and also green onions. So onions is really a big thing in our family. We go through them fast. We can actually reduce the burden on the farms by really growing stuff in an optimal way. And I think my garden really shows that. It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it.
What do you think your kids think of your garden?
Oh, they love it. They love the picking part, and they also have a little farm stand over here. So the selling part too, I have to say.